who controlled key trade routes in the Middle East throughout history. Have you ever wondered who held the reins on the vital trade routes that crisscrossed the Middle East? This region has been a bustling crossroads for centuries, connecting Asia, Africa, and Europe. Let's take a closer look at the various powers that controlled these key routes throughout history. In ancient times, the Incense Route was a major trade path from around the 3rd century before the Common Era to the 2nd century of the Common Era. South Arabian kingdoms, particularly those in Yemen, thrived by trading frankincense and myrrh. Later, the Nabateans, an Arab group, took over parts of this route. They controlled important cities like Petra, which allowed them to manage the flow of these valuable goods to the Mediterranean. Another significant trade route was the Silk Road, which connected China to the Middle East and beyond. During its peak under the Tang dynasty, from the 7th to the 10th centuries of the Common Era, the Chinese Empire encouraged trade and cultural exchanges. Persian and Sogdian merchants played essential roles in this commerce. The Silk Road passed through regions governed by the Parthians and later the Sassanids in Persia, along with various nomadic groups from Central Asia. The Roman Empire also had a strong grip on Mediterranean maritime routes and parts of the overland networks linking Europe to Asia. Their control ensured that goods like silk, spices, and precious metals flowed into Europe. Fast forward to the medieval period and the rise of Islamic Caliphates, specifically the Umayyad and Abbasid, marked a new era of trade route control. From the 7th century onward, these caliphates expanded from the Iberian Peninsula to the Indus River. They oversaw crucial land and maritime routes, including parts of the Silk Road and the Red Sea trade networks. The Arabs also secured trade routes in the Persian Gulf and parts of the Indian Ocean. The Byzantine Empire maintained control over significant Mediterranean and overland routes until the 15th century, especially around Anatolia and the Levant. However, their influence began to decline after the Crusades and the rise of Turkish powers. The Seljuk Turks and later the Ottoman Empire took over critical routes, including the western terminus of the Silk Road. The Ottomans' conquest of Constantinople in 1453 was a game-changer. This victory gave them control over the gateway between Asia and Europe, allowing them to dominate trade routes connecting the Middle East with both continents. Maritime trade routes were also essential. The Maritime Silk Route and Indian Ocean trade routes linked the Middle East with India, East Africa, and Southeast Asia. Arab sailors and merchants were key players in these waters from the early Islamic period, establishing trading posts along the Red Sea, Persian Gulf, and East African coast. From the 12th century onward, Italian maritime republics like Venice and Genoa became powerful intermediaries in Mediterranean trade. They controlled sea routes between Europe and the Middle East, capitalizing on commercial privileges gained during the Crusades. In the late 15th century, the Portuguese opened new sea routes around Africa to India, challenging traditional Middle Eastern control over spice and luxury goods trade. Despite these changes, the Middle East remained a vital hub for trade. Cities like Baghdad, Damascus, and Cairo served as key centers for the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. Throughout history, control of Middle Eastern trade routes shifted among various powers, including South Arabian kingdoms, the Nabateans, Persian empires, the Roman and Byzantine empires, Islamic Caliphates, Seljuk and Ottoman Turks, and maritime republics like Venice. Each of these groups played a role in shaping the economic and cultural history of this dynamic region.